I welcome you all to this week live series with ALMAN. On this week live series with ALMAN, I'll be discussing on the topic parenting neglect. Parenting neglect. Parenthood is a phase in our lives that every one of us desire to experience in our sojourn here on earth. I therefore come this morning to ask every one of us parents these pertinent questions. First on the list of questions I want to ask this morning is, how have we fed as parents? 2, how intentional are we as parents? 3, how close are we to our children? 4, what values are we inculcating into our children? 5, how have we mentored our children? 6, what are we parents exposing our children to? 7, what moral values are we inculcating into our children? 8, what kind of music or videos do you allow your children to be exposed to, or are you exposing your children to? 9, who are our children relating with? 10, who are we allowing our children to interact with? Also, 11, who is influencing our children? All these questions and many more are germane questions that you and I, parents, need to pay attention to. Stay tuned as we continue the discussion. Parenting is serious business, and every parent needs to be intentional and awake to their God-given responsibility to train up their children in the way they should go, that after they are grown, they will not depart from it. A lot of the issues we are having among our children, among our adolescents, among our young adults are all traceable to failure in the place of parenting, to failures in the place of falling family system structure. I therefore urge every parent hearing my voice this morning, I charge you as I charge myself, we need to wake up to our responsibility. We need to start doing what we need to do as parents. I ask again, how many of you parents, or how many of we parents really understand the behavior of your child? But what do we have today? A lot of parents have left the place of parenting to their house care. A lot of parents have left the place of parenting to their house girls and their house boy. House boy and house girl now parent your children, now teach your children the way they should go. It is not surprising when we begin to see different bad behavior, different unheard of morals that our children exhibit today in the home front and in the society. For a lot of the adults, a lot of the house girls, a lot of the house boys, a lot of the uncles that we have left our children with to parent on our behalf have exposed our children to things that they ought not to be exposed to at that tender age. A lot of adults, a lot of house girls and house boys watch materials, watch contents that are bigger and more advanced or not tolerable for your children at that tender age. Parents, you need to wake up. Parents, you need to be observant to know what association your children are keeping. You need to be observant to know what your children are doing on social media. You need to be observant to know what kind of movie that they are viewing, even right there in the comfort of your home. I, for one, as a parent, I purposely chose to watch cartoon with my children. They're about 8 and 6. I purposely choose to watch cartoon so I can observe and see what kind of content is being passed to my children. And like I've told people at different forums, I've identified some cartoons and some channel that are supposedly children cartoon that contains adult content. For example, I for one have blacklisted some cartoon channel and my children don't tune to it. Why? Because adult content is mixed with little children's content. You can imagine a cartoon series that is meant for children having scenes that has to do with them discussing sex, discussing boyfriend and girlfriend, hitting themselves on the butt. All these, unknown to us, are being passed down to our innocent children, all in the name of cartoon. So, parents, you need to be intentional. You need to wake up to your responsibility. Everything does not end with you just providing the money. You need to be involved with their day-to-day. You need to be involved in what they are doing. Habits are not formed in a day. For habits are series of actions and behaviors that we consistently do day by day, that it now what becomes what part and parcel of us and becomes an habit. Some parents watch programs that contain adult content with their children, with their toddlers. And tomorrow they come to say, I don't know where she learned this from. I don't know where she learned this from. For example, the popular Big Brother Naija that is censored 18. I was in a restaurant one day and the mother and the child should be around maybe 11, 12 years old. They were both engaged in watching the program. And I tried to caution the baby that, what are you watching this program for? But the mother defended the child, that allow her to watch, and that is the beginning of you exposing that innocent 11-year-old to adult content. Then tomorrow, you will say you don't know where your children learned those behavior from. So parents, please check yourself. If you are not the problem that your children are having today. I, for one, choose not to watch a lot of musical contents that are being showed on a lot of channels today. Why? Because a lot of those musical content and videos contains sexual and vulgar language that we as parents need not to expose our children to. A lot of their lyrics are baseless, and a lot of those lyrics stir up negative behavior in our children. So we parents, because we want to enjoy the rave and of the day, the trending music of the day, will play and dance to those musical contents in the confine of our home, thereby exposing our innocent children that do not know how to differentiate between their left and right. And we expose them to things that are bigger than what they can handle. Then tomorrow we come to say, that you don't know how your children got corrupted. You, the parents watching me this morning, watching those musical contents and those videos that are vulgar, that contain sexual acts in the confine of your home, in the presence of your children, you are the one responsible for those corrupt acts, those corrupt behavior that your children end up engaging in. In summary, in our parenting talk this morning on parenting neglect, parents need to be more intentional in how they bring up their children. Parents, you need to be more observant and friendly to your children. Try all you can to be your children's best friend. Give them listening ears when they want to talk to you. Don't shun them. Don't chase them away. Let them be friendly with you, that they will be able to tell you things that they are experiencing outside. Parents, you should stop giving your children and teenagers smartphones. I, for one, don't subscribe to parents that hand over smartphones and allow their children to use social media as minors. Parents, please be guided. This is not you allowing your children to socialize, but you are exposing them to things that are bigger than they can comprehend. So save your children from being corrupted by the social media by not giving them tools that will destroy their future. Parents and elders, you need to stop watching vulgar content that contains materials that could lead the young minds astray. Parents, you need to activate parental guide on your gadgets to serve as control means so that your children will not go behind your back to watch channels that they ought not to watch. And parents should also censor the usage of their minors using internet. We all know that the era we are today is the jet age. A lot of our children do assignments and all sorts online. But try all you can as parents that when your minors are giving assignment that requires the use of internet, that you are there to watch what they are doing on the net. There's a story I heard of a young lady. The parent gave her their gadgets to do an assignment with. But what the young girl was doing, she was busy checking up channels that she's not allowed to check online. And when the mom was coming close, she flipped the stuff to somewhere else to deceive the mother. So this now brings me to the conclusion that parents, try all you can. While you are monitoring your children, educate them. Have constant discussion with them on the danger of them being exposed to some channels and to some social media platforms. Try all you can not to put gadgets in the hands of minors. You are not doing them good, we are doing them harm. Parents, morals and holiness need to be preached constantly to our young ones. Let them learn good morals. Let them learn the acts of holiness, the acts of saying words that are edifying from a tender age. Parents, you should know that the kids learn by watching. So whenever you are in their parents, some things are expedient but not lawful. For the sake of your children, for the sake of their innocent mind, you don't do certain things in their presence. For parents that want to show love to their wife, to themselves, men that want to show love to their wife, you don't go about kissing your wife, all in the name of showing affection to your wife. In the presence of your children, you will be teaching them what is not sin in itself, but exposing them to what they need not to be exposed to at that tender age. Parents, you should be cautious when you go to parties that are outside of your control. When your kids are with you, try all you can to caution them not to vibe or mime those vulgar songs that are being played in the party. And parents, it's not every party that you are being invited to that you have to take your innocent children along. For you don't have control over what acts you will see or your children will see at those parties. So, to safeguard the sanity of your children, try all you can. It's not all your parties that you take your children to. Parents should start teaching their children sex education from a tender age. Let them know their private parts. Let them know that their private parts is a no-go area, that nobody is permitted to touch it. And fathers, don't allow your innocent daughter to keep sitting on your laps. Let them sit by your side, and don't let them get comfortable sitting on your lap as a man, for you'll be exposing them and teaching them things that they ought not to know. Parents, try all you can not to put on clothes or materials that will expose your private organs or your private parts. For men, try not to put on shorts that are too short that will expose your private parts. And for women, try not to put on clothes that are meant for the inner room around the house, so you will not expose your innocent sons to what they need not to be exposed to. And parents, try all you can to censor what your children wear when they are going out, and try to educate them why they need not put on certain clothes or certain kind of clothes. I will wrap up by quoting Proverbs 22 verse 6, which says, "Train up your child in the way he or she should go, that when they are old, they will not depart from it." Parenting is serious business, and every parent have to be intentional, have to wake up to their responsibility. The future of our children lies in our hands. We should not use trending acts to derail our children. Be guided and teach them the word of God from a tender age. For when they grow up, they won't depart from it. Cheers! And if you are new on this my channel, help me hit the subscribe button below, like my videos, and share them, that everyone may hear the message of parenting neglect. Till I come your way again next week, I remain your humble host, ALMAN, and this is Life Series with ALMAN. Cheers and stay on top. Bye for now.